Well, not too long ago, the Gohan the Gohan fans were waxing lyrical about how strong Gohan was. But since the Toyotaro interview that came out just recently, stating that Gohan Beast, Orange Piccolo, Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, and legendary Super Saiyan Broly were all on par and rivaling each other in terms of power, well, people are going after Gohan now, and you've got to say the Gohan groupies, they were kind of asking for it. It's crazy how one image has got loads of these fan bases basically warring with each other. But it's great. Obviously all these discussions, dialectics, debates and banter, it's all just a bit of fun, and I take it we love each other all, really. Anyway, smash a like on the video if you think this is an exciting time to be a Dragon Ball Super fan. But the argument out there is actually Gohan Beast has been overrated this whole time, and that his victories over Cell Max and Ultra Instinct Goku were by small margins, not large margins, and he may have also caught them both off guard. But guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm in a big battle against the YouTube algorithm right now. It's biased towards shorts and basically nonsensical channels, so please do smash a like on the video. I do truly appreciate it. Please make sure you comment down below. That's my main payment for this, is when you start discussions down below in the comment section. I do read all the comments, so please let me know your thoughts on anything I say in these videos, or have discussions with other Dragon Ball fans. And if you're not subscribed, do subscribe if you want weekly Dragon Ball content. So look, the argument before that Toyotaro interview was about whether Gohan Beast could compete with Black Frieza. Now, a lot of people are saying, based on this interview, that he cannot compete with Black Frieza anymore. However, for the Gohan groupies, I'm actually going to put it out there, and I have done in previous videos, and in fact, my large Dragon Ball Super manga power scaling video, I propose there's two versions of Gohan. There's the baseline Beast Gohan, and then there's the full extent mode Beast Gohan. The full extent mode Beast Gohan, which seems to be more of a technique that amps his power further, and we're going to go into that in this video because there's lots of precedent for it. However, Gohan's managed to take it to a new level. But there's two modes of Gohan in his Beast form, and the full extent Beast form may be closer to Frieza's levels with his Black transformation. So hold out for that. But the Toyotaro interview is quite clear. He is clearly stating that they are all at the same level. Now, I've seen people claim mistranslations. I covered this whole mistranslation business in a video I did previously, talking about what if all five of those protagonists, Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo and Broly, all fought in a death battle, and who would be the last man standing. It is not a mistranslation. The Raw clearly states that they're all equal in power. Now, some people claim different interpretations, but if you listen to what they corroborate with these weird interpretations, yeah, it becomes quite fucktarded, basically. We're supposed to believe that Toyotaro drew some abstract picture to depict a balance of what? Exactly, it makes no sense. What's more, in my previous two videos, I've also given an abundance of evidence to show that all five of these characters have consistently been portrayed being at least in the same tier of power. Now, the hardest one has been putting Piccolo alongside Gohan, because in the superhero movie we saw Orange Piccolo get defeated by Cell Max, and we saw Gohan Beast defeat Cell Max. However, there's nuance to that fight as well, simply because in the manga the portrayal is different. Sure, there are a few similarities, and it is based on Toriyama's original story, but this has been adapted by Toyotaro, the writer of the manga, and it did get the seal of approval by Toriyama himself, so it is legit. So what am I talking about when I'm talking about this? So in the fight, in the movie, which is obviously just a short feature-length film, we see a very baseline story. We see Orange Piccolo get defeated. We don't see all the additional stuff that Toyotaro added to the manga. And I'm going to say this, I think the manga story-wise, with the superhero arc, with the Clean God stuff, the additional stuff we got to the actual mainline story of the superhero arc, as well as the Beerus planet sparring matches at the end, it's better than the movie. I'd happily see that animated one day. Not soon, but one day. Still, there's lots of additional stuff in the manga that Toyotaro added for the better, in my opinion. Ultimately, in the movie, we saw Orange Piccolo get defeated, and then Gohan snapped, and then Gohan blocks Cell Max's punch, and then kicks him. And then they have that beam clash with the special beam cannon. Orange Piccolo does get involved, Orange Piccolo does hold him back a little bit, but he's the only one really in the movie. In the manga, it's very, very different. But one thing that even goes under the radar in the movie is the fact that Cell Max, okay, he had his punch blocked, and then he got kicked away, and Gohan looked like a complete Chad whilst doing it. It looked dominant. However, Cell Max survived that kick, got straight back up and launched a massive powerful attack. And I repeat, the portrayal was dominant, but if you deep it, Gamma 2's attack on Cell Max that blew off his arm did more damage to Cell Max than Gohan's kick did. Of course, I'm not saying that doesn't mean Gohan's at his level, if not stronger. I'm saying that he tanked the hit. It wasn't a one-punch knockout like we saw with Black Frieza against Goku and Vegeta. An argument that's been going around for a long time is that despite supposedly having this power advantage that seemed huge if you based it on portrayal, and we do that a lot in this fandom, we look at the portrayal of how the anime portrays these fights, in any sign of dominance we're automatically assume 10 times multipliers to the characters, which has never been the case. But ultimately, Gohan still opted to go for the weak spot on Cell Max's head despite the explosion that came after it. So people are saying that maybe he didn't think he could defeat Cell Max in just a pure melee beatdown. He still had to go for that weak spot. Not only did he just not attack the weak spot with simple melee attacks or even a Kamehameha, he went for the special beam cannon. Now we know from even the Saiyan saga that the special beam cannon can amp the user's power beyond what even a Kamehameha can for that user. So it's an enormous power amping move. What else have we learned about Gohan Beast's form? Well, when he got to Beerus' planet and sparred Goku, he can go into that full extent mode where he allows his power to go out of control, but he controls it. Is it that special beam cannon against Cell Max was part of that full extent mode, but he launched it in a key attack? As we've seen many times throughout the history of Dragon Ball, these characters can amp their overall raw power with certain key attacks. Goku does it with the Kamehameha, Piccolo does it with the special beam cannon, Vegeta does it with the Gallic Gun and Final Flash, and then you could even go to the Buu arc. Goku was basically stood there charging up as a Super Saiyan 3 to amp his overall power for a final attack against Kid Buu to wipe Kid Buu out. Obviously it didn't work in the end, but that's what he was doing. Was this Gohan using this Gohan Beast transformation and letting his power keep rising and finding a way to control it a similar method? I'll put that question to you, so let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section. However, I will offer that Gohan's gone one step further, because in all those instances it's usually been launching a powerful key attack that's allowed their power to go beyond their normal means, so their body isn't part of that physically. However, Gohan can turn this amped power into melee attacks, as we saw against Ultra Instinct Goku, and he allows it to vastly increase his speed. This seems to be an amping technique, not that far removed from the Kaioken really. But obviously we saw dominance from Gohan in the movie, but Cell Max still had to be held back by Orange Piccolo, who still had the raw power and strength to be able to hold Cell Max back. And of course we saw Gohan land that kick against Cell Max and block his punch, but even Orange Piccolo managed to land on Cell Max. Cell Max, especially in the manga, was definitely portrayed to be basically a baby with just this enormous power level. It was an incomplete Cell Max that basically had no fighting abilities. Okay, he was adapting during the fight, but ultimately he was nowhere near the experience and martial arts prowess of a Piccolo or a Gohan. But while charging up that special beam cannon in the manga, Gohan actually got way more help during that beam struggle than he did in the movie. Obviously it's an embellished story in the manga due to the different medium, but he had Cell Max being attacked by Krillin, who chopped off one of Cell Max's wings with a Destructo disc, Android 18, Super Saiyan Goten in Trunks. In the movie they didn't even go Super Saiyan, which irritated the life out of me. And obviously Orange Piccolo was also holding Cell Max back. Gamma 1 was also attacking them, and that's a Super Saiyan Blue level character. Had already had his arm blown off by Gamma 2. It was a severely weakened Cell Max if you actually think about it. But Gohan still had to go for his most powerful technique and aim for a weak spot to completely take him out. Was that telling us something that we've overlooked? Is Beast Gohan actually weaker than we thought? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Obviously against Goku, he had to go into this full extent mode to overcome Goku's Ultra Instinct hacks, his speed hacks, his dodge hacks, his enhanced reaction. However, it is still impressive. But we did the same thing with Goku in its Ultra Instinct form. We massively overhyped its raw power multiplier over the previous transformation, and people got out of hand with it. Have we done the same to Gohan Beast? Because we've literally got Toyotaro, the writer of the manga, the A1 source for the manga, telling us that he is in the same tier as the rest of the protagonists. Now, Broly isn't that much of a surprise because we saw in the manga that is really down to Gohan's control why he was getting the better of him. We saw Gohan knock Goku out of Ultra Instinct, but he had to go into that full extent mode and keep going through that full extent mode to eventually get to the point where he could land a shot. We didn't see him against Ultra Ego Vegeta, but Ultra Ego Vegeta should be at a similar level to Ultra Instinct Goku. Piccolo is the harder one to swallow, but what if it's that his base Gohan Beast mode is at Orange Piccolo's level, and perhaps through the training after the events against Cell Max, Piccolo's learned how to use some of the hacks and abilities he may have gained with Orange Piccolo form. So was the Toyotaro interview just really referring to the base level of Gohan Beast? Because all of these forms can adapt in battle and get stronger in battle. Ultra Instinct can if he keeps his heart calm and tranquil. Vegeta can if he takes damage. We're assuming Broly can if it follows the same format as the full power Super Saiyan state. And there's still conjecture around Piccolo's orange form, but maybe it can do something similar now that he's gotten used to the form and trained with it. But that full extent mode may lead him closer to, say, Black Frieza's level, but Black Frieza might be there naturally. So how I would kind of put this, and this is just me being very theoretical with this, so take it with a pinch of salt, but it's just food for thought. Let's say Beerus is 100 and they're all chasing Beerus. Then we've got Black Frieza at 95. Then we've got Gohan Beast in his base level, Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta at 90. So they're somewhat close, but a bit far off. But maybe Gohan Beast with his full extent mode can get to 895. Broly would probably be at somewhere between 90 and 95 as well. And then you've got Orange Piccolo. Let's say he's only at 88. He's slightly weaker than them all in their base states of their strongest forms, but he would be able to compete. Then Toyotaro's interview makes complete sense. I have no issue with it, but maybe Gohan Beast doesn't have that wild power advantage over them all as we thought. And this is why the Broly sexuals, the Jirenettes, the Dickolos, the Goku Tards, the Vegetards, they're all going after the Gohan group is right now, because the Gohan group is really gave it some mouth before that Toyotaro interview. Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section. Remember, all these clan names are just banter, it's not serious, it's not that deep. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I will read them, I look forward to reading them. Do help me in my battle against this ridiculous YouTube algorithm. Smash a like on the video. Until next time, Ad Astra.